Hey guys, did you know that I have a Patreon where you can support me and plus get awesome rewards? Or if you're thinking to yourself, but Julian, I want even more bang for my buck while still supporting you, you can pop over to my Redbubble and check out my awesome store with new designs appearing regularly. But for now, enjoy the video you're about to watch.
Were you ever out in the great alone when the moon was awful clear, and the icy mountains hemmed you in with a silence you most could hear, with only the howl of a timber wolf, and you camped there in the cold, a half-dead thing in a stark dead world, clean mad for the muck called gold? While high overhead, green, yellow, and red, the northern lights swept in bars, then you've a hunch what the music meant, hunger and night and the stars. So, book, The Great Alone. What the hell? Where did you come from? How did I find you? And why were you so good? Hey guys, it's me, Julian Greystoke, and we're going to talk about a book that I literally just randomly picked up, and it turned out to be my latest 5-star read. I'm not kidding. I do not hand 5 stars out like candy. This book is basically a unicorn. I mean, wow. How I found this unicorn was that I was all out of books to listen to at work, and I was sad, and I was at my library, and I just wandered in to the recorded book section. Jane is here. So I just roamed into the fiction section, and I picked out this book. I looked at the synopsis and I was like, fine, I like Alaska, homesteading sounds cool, I'm gonna grab it. And I almost didn't even listen to it, because another book that I had been waiting for came in. And so I almost just sent this back to the library, but I was like, well, I'll give it a listen. I would have made the biggest mistake of my life not giving this book a chance. What is The Great Alone about? The Great Alone stars a character named Lenny, and it follows her through most of her life, from when she is, I believe, 12 years old until well into her adulthood. Lenny and her family, her mother and her father, move to wild Alaska in 1974 to try to start fresh, to homestead. They are driven there mostly by Lenny's father's PTSD. He was in the Vietnam War, he came back with severe PTSD, and he is rarely able to hold down a job, rarely able to stay in one place. When an old army buddy leaves him his little homestead in Alaska, the whole family packs up their VW bus and heads out into the Great Alone. And this is a story of family struggle. This is a story of regular struggle as they try to survive. Jane just drooled on me because that's what he does. It's like a slice of life, but it's like, instead of a slice, it's the whole pie. And I just ate it up, to continue with that metaphor. Alright, Jane, you're drooling too much. You're leaving splotches on my pants. Look at, you can't see, but there's like 3-4 good spit splotches on my pants, because when he gets comfortable, he drools. My cats are weird. There are so many themes in this book. So many themes. It's been a while since I read a book that not only had themes, but themes that I felt were done pretty damn well. Themes like love. Love is a big theme. Love in every form. Friendship, familial love, romantic love. All of it is so important. Survival of all kinds. Dreams and goals, the strength of women is a big theme in this one, which of course I loved. The wilderness in all forms, mistakes, human nature, progress versus tradition. There is just so much in this book, and it is so good. I loved the characters. Now, you all know that characters are where it is at for me, and if I like characters, I will forgive just about anything. This book was solid all the way around, but the characters were so real feeling. Like, I feel like I could pick up and go to Alaska right now and meet these people. That is how real and human they all felt. And of course, Alaska is a character in and of itself. The beauty and the majesty of this wild place is really brought to you in this book. The author does a great job with very simple language of helping you see and feel Alaska. And on the subject of the writing, it is pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of gilding the lily, there's not a lot of purple prose, but it does an amazing job of just making this world and these people, as I said, feel completely real. This book does have a lot of abuse going on in it, so if you are sensitive to that, then you might have to give this one a miss, which would be too bad, but the abuser-victim relationship in this is done so well, I think. Lenny's father is abusive and flies into these rages, but of course it is this cycle that you see so often with abuse, that when he goes off and he hits the mother, he comes back and he's so apologetic and, oh, I'll never do it again, and oh, I love you, and she is so in love with him. And she has a personality type, I think, too, that you sometimes find. Some people have this personality type where they feel like they have to stay with a person because that person has no one else, and they kind of love that feeling of being needed by another person. Like, Lenny's mother really loves to feel needed, because when he does have his PTSD episodes and such, she is there to comfort him, she is there to bring him out of it, and so even though he abuses her badly, she still feels needed by him, and that is a definite draw in their relationship for the mother. It's a very complex and I think very well done relationship. This book made me very emotional all around, but the ending made me so emotional. Like, I was like, what the hell, book? Where did you come from, and how dare you come in here and give me all of these emotional feels? There was another moment in the book where Lenny is just being a badass, and I was just like, I could barely handle it. I was at work, and I was like, this close to being like, yeah, shout it, girl! You are a goddess! You are a warrior goddess! Get out there and do your thing! Okay, so while I did love 90% of this book, there were, of course, a few things that I didn't love. Let's talk about them. The characters in this book, as I said, were very realistic, and as such, they made a lot of mistakes. And one of the themes of this book is, in Alaska, you get one mistake because the second one will kill you. And the making of mistakes is definitely a theme in this book. And oftentimes when a character would make a mistake, I would be able to be like, well, that is very in character for them. I believe that they made that mistake. It didn't bother me too much, because I like flawed characters, and I can be frustrated with a character and still love them. However, there were a couple of times, and one of these times I almost knocked off a star. It was almost a 4-star read. If the ending hadn't brought it back around for me, I would have knocked off a star, because the characters made a bad decision that was so unfathomably bad that I was just like, no, I can't deal with how stupid you are being right now. And it did feel a little bit out of character. Lenny was involved, and Lenny is usually a very level-headed person, and the book tried to make it seem like this mistake is something that would naturally happen, but like, babies not yet born into this world could see what a terrible mistake was being made. That was very close to ruining this book for me, knocking off a star. Some of the mistakes the characters made were a little bit too frustrating for me to completely be on board with. And another little gripe that I had about it was, because this book was following a person's entire lifetime, it kind of does go on and on and on. And I didn't mind, because I was on board with these characters and really enjoying reading about their life. But it did feel like, especially near the end, it felt a little bit like Lord of the Rings, where it's like, okay, this must be the end. Nope, still going. Okay. Well, this is a perfect place to end. Nope, we are still going. Well, how about nope? Okay, alright, we're going. It was a little bit frustrating, especially because I was listening to it, so it was not like I could easily see how many pages I had left. So I kept expecting the book to be over, and it just kept on going. So those are my thoughts on The Great Alone. Should you read it? Yes. Please read this book. Nobody is talking about it on BookTube, and it floored me. I was not prepared emotionally or mentally for this beautiful book. The author clearly put a lot of effort into making Alaska and the Alaskan people feel like a real place and real people. They did their research, they know what they're on about, and it's just a great look at a difficult life homesteading in Alaska with so many amazing themes. Definitely go check out The Great Alone if it at all interests you. And even if you're like me and it is not the kind of book that you normally read, I still think give it a try. As all of you know, I post new videos here Mondays and Fridays. All the links to my social media are in the doobly-doo. And if you liked what you saw here but you wish it was higher quality, then you can support me on Patreon for as little as $1 a month to help me get better equipment to make my videos higher quality for your watching enjoyment. And I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye!
What's up, everybody? It is shout out time. Time to shout out to my very first patron, Kim. And if you want to be cool like Kim, become a patron over on Patreon.